Hello and welcome to another cup of coffee. This is the new series, and I tell you, it's going to be so exciting. I have got so many different guests joining me this series that I don't even know who's coming next. I have got so many friends and people who weren't even friends before who've become friends. But let me introduce you to my first guest today. And her name is Petra Gunholm. And I don't even know if I have pronounced that correctly because she is Swedish. Hello, Petra.
Hi, Sandy. Nice to see you.
How are you?
I'm good, and you pronounce it perfectly. So
you're a long way away from me. I'm in Spain and you're somewhere in Sweden, but it sounds like you're just across the way from me.
Yeah.
I've known you for quite a time, and I've only known you to be a therapist, a massage therapist. And suddenly, in the last few weeks or in the summer months, I have found out so much about you that I want to share with everybody. First of all, I thought that you were born in Sweden, which I think is correct, but I thought you lived all your life in Sweden. But it turns out, no. Where did you also live?
I lived in Zambia for a couple of years, but then I grew up, so most of my childhood was in South Africa.
So we really are kissing cousins. I didn't know that until the summer. We had been speaking, and that suddenly came out. And as I say, I've only known you as a massage therapist, but I see so many other things that you have done. So I'm going to ask you questions, which hopefully you'll be able to answer. When you left school, what did you do?
When I left school? Oh, what do you mean? Primary school or just school?
When you finished your schooling.
When I finished my schooling, what did I do? Well, I started working in an IT company.
Right.
And I worked there for about 20 years. I slipped in on a banana peel, like you say. So I never thought of working there, but I was there for 20 years and I did a good job. So, yeah.
And then you slipped out, and in between times, you have become very much eco-friendly and very much bring that into your life. But I want to go back because I didn't know something that has really tickled my fancy, and that is you're a former world champion twice. Underwater rugby player. Not only a player, a champion twice. How did that come about?
Well, when I started studying here in Sweden, one of my classmates played underwater rugby, and I love water. It's my element. So I went with him, and I was hooked. And then I played underwater rugby for, I think, 13 years. So I was on the national team for, well, almost all 13 years.
How do you play underwater rugby?
You play in the deep end of the pool, well, swimming pool. So across the deep end. Okay. So it's between 3.5 and 5 meter deep, and then you have baskets on the bottom.
Right.
And then you have a team. It's almost like if you play ice hockey, you have people. Some people go out and another one comes in, and here you get out of the water and another one dives in. So you have, and you play under the water with a ball filled with salt water that sinks. So,
well, I mean, for me, I'm trying to let my brain accept that. I know water polo, and I used to watch water polo every week when I lived in South Africa because I love water polo. But that was above the water.
Yes.
You are under the water. So the goalies are really underwater.
Yeah, we're all underwater. It's just, I mean, you're allowed to come up and
I can breathe.
Well, you take a breath when you come up. You have goggles and a snorkel and fins on your feet. And you come up and you watch the game. That's why you need the goggles, so you can watch the game and breathe at the same time. and then you dive down again and you do whatever you need to do, come back up for some breath, and then you go back down.
Is that
So-
only in Sweden?
No, it's worldwide. That's why we had the World Championships. So
And where were they?
the
They
ones
in
that,
Europe?
well, they have been all over, but the ones that we won was one was in Denmark and one was in Germany. And I've also played World Championships in Colombia. So
But besides that, you're also in fencing.
oh yes, that's a long time ago.
Softball, netball, CrossFit. I mean, you are Miss Sporty.
That was just a few of them.
Okay.
I've tried a lot of things like tap dancing and karate and judo and archery and yeah. So
And you can still do all those if
no.
push comes to shove.
Well, no. I didn't do everything for a long period of time. I've tried a lot of things, but many things were just for a short while, and then some other things I got stuck with. So
Well, now you got stuck with something that I know absolutely nothing about. And please teach me and share it with my viewers because I don't know how many of them know. What is EVO training? EVO training.
yeah, EVO training, evolution-based training, natural movement. Our bodies have evolved to move, and we don't move the way we are supposed to be able to move. And so this is it's not just about movement, but it's a lot about movement and movement in nature. And so nature doesn't adapt to us. We have to adapt to nature. So we have so many skills, unique skills that we don't use. Like we can jump and crawl and swim and climb and throw and do lots of things, and we don't do those things anymore. And because we don't use them, we lose them. So that's EVO training is a lot of movement. It's also connecting with nature, connecting with each other, so community, a lot of awareness about what the surroundings are around you, what kind of trees, animals, plants, things like that. And so connecting with nature, connecting with people, awareness, knowledge, and of course, natural movement.
When did you start that? Because now so much is EVO, okay?
Yeah.
Eco and
Yeah.
nature. When did you start all that? Long before now or now?
I think I started with the EVO training. It's a colleague of mine who I don't know if you want to call it invented it, but it's his thing. And I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I'm not sure. Time flies.
Yeah, so, especially when you're having fun and you're traveling around as you do, because I do know that you travel around. Yeah. What I know that you are very curious about so much. You're very open-minded. I know that you climb, and I've actually seen pictures of you climbing mountains that I would never, ever have thought. And people have said, you can't do it. And that's something that you don't say to Petra.
No.
Because if you say that, then you actually go and do it. What was the mountain climb that you did in Spain? Somewhere in Spain, I know that recently in the summer months, you climbed a mountain. Not that other people do, but you climbed it.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. It's an easier form of climbing, so it's called Via Ferrata. It's already everything's done for you. You just have to. But anyway, you have to climb and hook onto things. They're already there. It's not like knocking the things into the mountain and climbing by yourself. So it's much simpler. It's like it's like a walk. It's like a walk, but up.
Okay. If I'm imagining it, is it like, you see kids climb, and not only kids, adults now climbing walls?
Yeah.
something like that mountain-wise.
Yeah, but I think that is more difficult because then you're not hooked on anywhere. You're connected with a rope, of course, but then you're climbing and using really fingers. Here it's more grips, of course. Sometimes depends on what kind of where you're climbing. This was an easier climb, so there were things to grab onto, so you didn't have to really use a lot of fingers and stuff, and there were things to step on and things to, but it takes a bit of courage because you are suspended up there and it's like free fall, but that's why you're hooked on. So you don't, I think you fall, if you fall maybe 2 meters. You will hurt yourself, but you won't kill yourself.
Do many women do this?
I think so. I don't know. We were 3 women, three men maybe.
It was
Yeah.
4 women that did it with you.
Yeah, well, there were men and women, so it was mixed, completely mixed. So I don't think it's more of one or the other. So,
well, it's something that I had never heard of before as well.
No.
I mean, there are so many things that have come up with you. As far as I knew, you were a massage therapist.
Yeah.
And that's as much as I knew and know. And now you are still doing your massage?
Yes, I am.
And you do that between Sweden and when you travel around Europe. And I know that from time to time you do come to Spain. And
Yeah.
in fact, I think very shortly you are coming to Spain. But I don't know what you're going to be doing here. Can you tell me?
Well, I'm going to be there from the 15th to 22nd of October, and it's going to be an Evo experience, and it's a week of movement. It's a ladies gathering, women's gathering, an activity adventure in and around Estepona, and I'm doing it together with Karin, who is from Holland. I met her on a campsite in Denmark this last July, and we just totally clicked. So it was great fun. She works with movement too, but other movements. So she works with something called biodanza.
Is that an English word?
I'm not sure if it's Dutch or English.
Okay.
Biodanza. But it's she says it's where we rediscover our own moves to the rhythm of music from around the globe. And music can also be, I haven't done it, so I'm gonna try it for the first time when we meet. But she says music can also be like the sound of the waves, or so it doesn't have to be
Absolutely
what we normally call music,
yeah.
But it's creates activating and soothing experiences within the body and spirit. So I'm really looking forward to trying that. And then also we will be doing like Evo training. So the week is really an environmental change from everyday life. And it's going to be an open space where body, mind, and soul can move in a playful, curious, and explorative way. And there's no requirement of performance, and there's no measurement of result.
And what about age?
What?
What age? If somebody wants to do it, if say somebody of my age group wanted to join you, would that be okay? Or does it have to be a younger person with a much stronger body?
No, you need to be able to move.
Right.
So we are going on a few hikes or moving, and it's not just pavement. So it's nature,
right.
Beach, forest. You might be crawling across some rocks up
I'm
and down.
not joining you.
No, so it's not going to be super difficult, but you need to be able to move. Right. And then age. I mean, what is age?
It's just something that's up there. There are people who are 23. I'm always 22 up there, and you know that I'm a little bit older than that. So,
but there are 30-year-olds that can't move.
True.
And there are 60, 70-year-olds or more that move perfectly. Yeah. And so everybody is welcome. It's not a training week. So it's not this muscle thing or doing heavy lifting or I don't know what you call those gym things.
Gymnasium, anything gymnasium. It's all
It's movement.
Movement, but it's all to do with nature. Now, you said that you're going to be doing it in Estepona. Estepona is in Spain. It's the southern part of Spain. If any of the viewers want to join you, how can they?
Well, they can send me an email.
Okay.
Right now, this one is, so it's starting already on the 15th.
Okay.
So it might be a bit tough to join at least, but if somebody's interested, they can send me an email and ask about it, and we'll see what we can do. Right. Otherwise, we have already, well, we haven't planned it yet, but we have set a new date for the first week of June.
Okay.
So there will be another possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Still with lovely weather, but not too hot. If they want to contact you, an email address would be good.
Yes. Do you want, so Petra, Petra.
Right.
And then that, whatever you call it. Well,
an A,
the at sign, yeah.
Rover,
and then it's Kaissa, that's actually my middle name. It's the name of my company. It's CAIISSA. Right. So 2 I's, 2 S's, .SE.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat that. Petra Aroba at CAIISSA.SE.
Yes.
I got it. I vaguely looked down just to make sure that I was getting the right thing. But for me, it sounds like it's interesting. If people don't get for this time, because the time could be short, at least they can contact you and maybe do it for June. But in any case, while you are here in southern Spain, maybe you can do massage.
Yes.
Well, so, there is so much you can do in that week if you've got time. So again, your email address is well worth having and knowing what you're doing. And I find this completely fascinating. You also do behavior change. How do you do that?
How do I do that?
How do you change somebody's behavior?
Well, I work with simple, sustainable lifestyle changes. So it's small things that you can fit into your everyday life, and so it's things you pair up maybe with something you already do, and it's small things, the things that you might.
For instance, give me one example.
Well, like, you know what squatting is when you sit down.
Yes.
Yeah. So most of us can't do that anymore.
I certainly can't.
We're supposed to be able to do that. And if you look at indigenous people and that, they sit like that, whatever they do. And we don't anymore. So squatting is a really good thing. It's actually a resting position, and being able to squat is good. So getting that into just getting that, if you do it continuously, just a little, not sitting like trying to sit for 20 minutes or doing 20 of them, but do one here and there, it's going to become easier. So like if you're having a cup of coffee or waiting.
I'm going to have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, you're having a cup of coffee. You can actually squat when you're drinking your coffee, or you can do it while you're waiting for your coffee to get ready, or some people do it after they've been to the toilet or while they're brushing their teeth, or so. And if it's difficult, because it is difficult for many people, you have to hold on to something. Of course, then you can't be doing something at the same time, like brushing your teeth. But a lot of people drink coffee or tea in the morning. You can hold on to something and practice squatting. And so,
do you do anything like pelvic I was going to ask you pelvic exercise. I didn't know what word to use, but to strengthen a woman's pelvis.
Yeah,
Does that come into your frame of doing things?
well, some of the I work with the whole body, so from the ground up. So actually starting with the feet, and the feet are much more important than people realize. It's a forgotten part of the body. We just stuff them in shoes and then we forget about them. But they're super, super important. And many of the things that the exercises or things we do with feet that I help people do with their feet also strengthens the pelvic floor. So yeah,
Yes.
indirectly, I'm not directly doing
so start from the bottom and go from the bottom up.
Exactly. So it affects it also.
Thing that you say about feet, because when I lived in Los Angeles, I was very friendly with a very well-known, not in your time, Sammy Khan, who was a songwriter of, everybody knows him, of my age group. And the only arguments we ever had was because I love being bare feet, having been brought up in South Africa, as you were as well, partially. I love being bare feet. And the arguments we had, he said, put your shoes on. You cannot be bare feet in my house because you pick up all the germs from your feet.
Well, so, feet are washable.
Feet are washable, but he had this big thing that feet were dangerous to get diseases.
Yeah. But and you know, a lot of people walk in their houses with shoes on all the time. They're never barefoot, not even at home. So, but
well, that's not you, and that's certainly not me. Now, is there anything else that you would like to share with me that I haven't covered, as much as you've got such, your journey of life is so interesting. You don't want to miss out on anything. And this is very much my mantra, and it has been all my life. You are that much younger, very much younger, and you are making the most of every day. One suggestion how people, no matter what their age is, can make the most of every day, health-wise.
Do you want one suggestion?
Yes, one suggestion.
How they can make something good? Well, sit less in chairs.
Really?
We're not made to sit in chairs.
Okay. Walk more. Exercise.
Well, you can sit, but sit like I'm sitting on the floor right now. This is where I normally sit. Yeah.
Really?
I don't like. I feel very uncomfortable in chairs. I'm moving around all the time. So if it looks like I'm moving, it's because I am moving, and I'm changing positions all the time. This is what is good for the body. So the best position is actually the next position. And so I sit on the floor even when if we have dinner, not if we sit at the table. I do sit at the table. I don't sit on the floor. But if we're doing anything else, watching a movie, or if I'm working or reading or whatever, I actually sit on the floor, because then I can change position and I don't get that. It's the 90-degree hip joint or the hip joint in 90 degrees when we sit in chairs and couches and stuff is not good for us. So it affects our body in a very negative way. So that would be one good thing, to sit less like that. Change position more, sit and try to get down on the floor, because that is also something that many people can't do.
That I can't do, as you well know. I can't get down on the floor. With 50 pieces of metal in my back, I certainly can't get down on the floor. But I am going to try and sit less, walk more.
And sit differently if you sit.
Yes, I am going to try different positions, and I am going to listen to all the things that you have suggested. And on that note, I am about to say, it has been a joy and a pleasure to speak with you. And I look forward to seeing you when you come back to southern Spain. I will come to Estepona and see what you are doing. And
You
I
are
wish
welcome.
you lots of luck. And thank you so much for sharing a cup of coffee with me. And good luck. I don't know
Thank
if
you,
you've got a
Sandy.
cup. I don't know if you've got a cup of anything that you can say cheers or skull or whatever it is.
Water.
Water.
My favorite drink.
Well, mine is a cup of coffee. So I'm about to say, take care. Thank you so much. And to my viewers, I say, well, I am sure that you have learned a lot from Petra. I certainly have. And until I see you the next time, take care, stay safe. And Petra, see you soon. And bye, everybody. Until the next time, a cup of coffee with me. Bye-bye.
Bye.